Okay, for this explainer, we're journeying way, way back in time. The source itself is a lecture from 1990, but the story it tells, that's supposedly from 17,000 years ago. It's an incredible account of a very mysterious encounter.
So, yeah, even though the telling is pretty recent, the event itself is described as being ancient. And look, this isn't presented as just some old myth. It's framed as a lost chapter of our past, one that could totally rewrite everything we think we know about where we all come from.
So let's just dive right in. The entire story we're about to unpack really hinges on this one single powerful question. It's asking us to challenge the very foundations of our history books and just consider for a moment, what if our history is not what we think?
All right, our story kicks off in a place that's literally lost to time, the legendary continent of Mu. We're going back 17,000 years, where a solitary leader has this mysterious encounter that is about to change his entire understanding of reality.
So, let's just picture this. We're in the Pacific Ocean 17,000 years ago, and here lies this vast, legendary continent of Mu. Think of it like Atlantis, a supposed cradle of civilization that just vanished beneath the waves. And this is where we meet our main character, Ramu. He's the leader of this apparently advanced civilization. It's his 40th birthday, but he's not throwing a party. He's spending it alone in quiet meditation on a rock by the shore, just contemplating the cosmos.
And as he's gazing out at the stars, something strange catches his eye. 6 points of light, shimmering with these really vibrant colors, orange, blue, and green. They're definitely not stars. They're moving across the night sky with a kind of intelligent purpose.
And then one of the orange lights just breaks away from the others and starts descending right towards him. It's not just a light anymore. It resolves into a smooth, silent craft, maybe 20 meters across. It comes to a dead stop, just hovering right above the water's surface, completely silent, completely still.
From this craft, a being emerges, but there are no spoken words. Instead, a voice resonates directly inside Ramu's mind, and it calls him by a name that feels both totally alien and somehow deeply familiar: El Kintare. Then the voice explains, that is your true name, basically implying that the identity of Ramu is just a temporary costume for a much, much older soul.
Now, this visitor didn't come all this way just for a quick hello. It's here to deliver a really profound message, and it starts with a revelation that strikes right at the heart of human identity, our own forgotten history. The visitor projects what's described as a holographic screen right over the ocean, revealing this just astonishing timeline. I mean, look at this. It says humanity's ancestors aren't even from Earth. They came from a world called Planet Beta over 300 million years ago. It also points to this lost chapter, a super high-tech civilization that rose and fell right here on Earth millions of years ago and destroyed itself. And then the timeline gets very personal with a chilling prophecy. In just 1,000 years, Mu is going to suffer that exact same fate.
And this origin story is incredibly detailed. The visitor explains that back on planet Beta, there was this huge ethical debate. Should they create new souls? Well, they couldn't agree, so a faction of 60 million pioneers decided to just leave. They journeyed to Earth in these absolutely colossal, kilometer-long motherships, eventually setting up shop in what we now call North Africa and bringing their own livestock with them to seed a new world.
Okay, so the visitor's message now shifts from the distant past to the near future. And it's not just a dire prophecy for mud. It's something deeper. A really challenging critique on the very nature of what we humans call love.
This is where things get really heavy. The visitor makes its purpose chillingly clear. They are not here to save anyone. They are historians. They tell Ramu, in another 1,000 years, this continent will disappear. We are here to record the peak and extinction of your civilization. For them, this isn't some tragedy to be stopped. It's just the natural turning of a great cosmic wheel.
And this right here, this is one of the most profound critiques in the whole encounter. The visitor tells Ramu that what humans often call love is really just a form of possessiveness, shoyu-yoku. You know, the desire to own something or someone. And that's contrasted with true cosmic love, which is described as the selfless wish for others to simply shine beautifully and infinitely.
So, after dropping that bombshell about human emotion, the visitor zooms out, way out. It starts to expand Ramu's consciousness even further, revealing the fundamental structure of reality itself and the soul's incredible journey through it all. The visitor explains that the reality we see and touch is just a tiny fraction of the whole picture. Our physical universe? It's just one of countless others, like dewdrops on a single cosmic leaf. Each world is just a temporary expression of this vast, underlying spiritual reality that connects everything.
And then it all comes back to Ramu. This is probably the most personal revelation of all. The visitor tells him that his soul, El Cantare, is part of this ancient lineage of teachers. As you can see here, his journey doesn't end on Mu. He's destined to be reborn as Thoth, the teacher of Atlantis, and then as great leaders in the Andes in Greece, and thousands of years later as Gautama Buddha in India, all to guide humanity at these really critical moments in its development.
So, what's the point? A 17,000-year-old story from a lost continent told in a 1990 lecture. What does any of this cosmic tale have to do with us, right now? Well, this final section brings that message home.
When you boil it all down, the story of Ramu isn't just some ancient sci-fi tale. It's a parable, and it has some really clear takeaways for our time. It suggests that humanity has this forgotten cosmic heritage, that our civilizations just rise and fall in cycles, and that true progress isn't measured by our gadgets, but by our inner, spiritual development, what the Source calls the kingdom of the heart.
And so, this incredible story leaves us right there with Ramu on that ancient shore with a question that really resonates through time. It asks us to think, what forgotten histories might still be buried in our collective past, and what lessons do they hold for the future that we're all creating right now?